Good afternoon. Today we are going to be talking about writing inequalities. Okay, we've talked about how to graph them. Now we're going to talk about how to write inequalities. Okay, so this is kind of like a little cheat sheet that will help you remember. If there is no line, if it's not equal to, then you've got a dotted line. If it's greater than, if y is greater than, you shade above. If there's a line underneath, then you'll have a solid line. And if y is less than, you'll shade below. Okay? So when you're writing inequalities, there's there's information that you've got to gather. Okay? Am I shading above or below the graph? Okay? Am I going to have a solid or a dotted line? What is my slope and what is my y-intercept? Then go ahead and write your equation. You can do everything except for put that inequality sign in. That's easy, right? Then you can start thinking about the inequality. So, if you have greater than or equal to, it will be shaded above the line. Okay? If you have less than or equal to, it'll be shaded below the line. If you have greater than or less than, it will be a dotted line. And if you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you will have a solid line. Okay? So, that's just the information you're going to be looking for. Okay? Now, here is an example of what an inequality graph will look like. You can see it's all gray. It's shaded over here on the right side. Okay? Now, what is my slope here? Find two pretty points. Here's a pretty point, and there is a pretty point. So what do we have to do to get there? We have to go up 1, 2, 3, and then we have to go to the left 1. So we rise 3, and we go to the left 1. So 3 divided by -1, my slope is going to be -3. Okay? Now, what was my y-intercept? It's right here. It is at 0. Okay? Now, what kind of a line is right here? That line, my graph, is a solid line. Okay, we have a solid line, and this is shaded more to the right, but just imagine where's above. Here's our y-intercept. Is it shaded above or below the y-intercept? It is shaded above, right? So, with that being said, we can go ahead and write y, and then we don't know which inequality yet, but we've got -3x plus 0, or you don't have to write the plus 0, whatever you want to do. Now, it's a solid line, so we know there's going to be a line underneath my inequality, whatever it's going to be, and it's shaded above. My y values are above my graph, so y is greater than. Okay? And it's okay if you didn't write the plus 0. So either one of those inequalities would work for this particular inequality. Okay, now looking at this one. Okay, what is our slope? Okay, if we try to find our slope, here's a pretty point and there's a pretty point. So we have to go down 1, 2, 3. We're going down 3 and to the right 2. So my slope is going to be -3/2. And what is my y-intercept? It crossed right here at +2. Okay? What kind of line? That is a dotted line. And I am shaded below. Okay? So my inequality, y, and because I'm shaded below, y is less than, and because it's dotted, I don't put a line. My slope is -3/2, and that's the coefficient of x, and my y-intercept is +2. And that's it, guys. Have a great day.